Annotation is a writing to learn strategy. It consists of writing explanatory notes and critical commentary to yourself. When you annotate, you write on or mark the text to indicate its special importance. Annotating consists of 2 steps. 1, underlining, highlighting, circling, or marking the author's words in some way. And 2, writing notes in the margins. Depending on your purpose for reading, your marginal notes might include summaries, explanations, observations, clarifications, interpretations, predictions, and questions. One great advantage of annotating as you read is that it helps you fight fatigue and distraction when you are studying or testing. Although some students often complain that annotating slows them down, the opposite is actually true. You won't have to spend valuable time reading because your mind wandered. You're also less likely to lose your concentration when you're actively writing, marking the text. Importantly, when you mark text, you create a trail that will guide you when you return to the material later. If you read the text passively without marking it, your understanding and recall of what you read will not be as sharp as you would or focused if you mark the text. Study the chart below. If you look at your handout, you will see that the first column helps you annotate. It provides you with tools for annotation. The second column lists methods for marking the text, and the last column makes suggestions for what to mark in the text. Your purpose for reading will determine which techniques you choose for marking the text and what information you choose to mark. Remember, your purpose for reading is critical. So feel free to create your own system, but be consistent. These are just suggestions for you in order to help you prepare to make annotations. An example, always highlight main ideas in one color and supporting details in another. Don't be overwhelmed or utilize your highlighter as a coloring page. Consistency will be helpful when you review the text. The goal is to leave a trail. Again, leave a trail that will make it easier to find information on a second reading. Now, I know oftentimes we don't want to read the first time, but we must read it and understand it and have a second reading to ensure what we read the first time was accurate using our annotated notes. Like any skill, annotating requires practice. So let's get started.
We read in relation to our experience. When we connect our reading strongly with our experience, we read with more interest. When we read with more interest, conversation goes on between what we are reading and our experience. By the same token, a conversation goes on between what we are reading and now what we have read at an earlier time. How reading one text relates to reading another text is called intertextuality, or the relationship between texts. Although you read intertextuality all the time, whether you choose to or not, the richness that such reading brings is greatly increased when you are aware of how your reading connects to other texts.
Everyone has his or her own way to annotate a text, but since this lesson is focused on reading and making connection between 2 texts, you might consider the following pair passage annotation strategy. First, read the text carefully without making anything or writing marginal notes. This ensures comprehension of the text. Next, read the text again, marking details, ideas, and actions that could connect the text with the shorter first text. Whatever notation strategy you use, look for elements of the text that are similar and could be useful when writing about the 2 texts.
You are now going to quickly collect data about the 2 texts you read. This data will help you find connections between them. The questions you were asked are basic and could be used with almost any fictional text. Use your notes to write your answers. When you're finished, check your understanding to see a possible response. Who is the speaker in each text? What other characters appear besides the speaker? Is there a way to relate one text to the other by thinking about the speakers and other characters? In each text, who wants something and what do they want? What resolution is there in the wanting in each case? You could continue collecting more data, of course. You could, for instance, think of the tone in each story. You could comment on the settings of the story. You could pick out important sentences and phrases, important objects, or even reference to colors. The depth of your data collection depends on your purpose and the time you have available. Using this information will allow you to better understand and tackle the paired text selection section of the STAAR test.